Following the announcement that I have made last time that I will be collaborating with Leeds United, in particular Leeds United College, the Centre for Sport Excellence is evolving. And it is evolving into an international ecosystem in sports excellence in Malta. In particular, activities have revolved around the world of football and even recently around the world of esports. Within the world of football in particular, I have managed to form agreements at a national and also at an international level. At a national level, I am pleased to say that I am collaborating with the Malta Footballers Players Association, Futsal Malta Association, and also Hibernians Football Club. At an international level, I am also collaborating very closely still, of course, with Leeds United College, and also very recently with the International Player Scouting Organization. And the whole idea here is to create the necessary ecosystem so that national and also international players can contribute to provide activity which is of value. At the same time, I am also focusing on another development, which is esports, the fascinating world really of esport. And I have signed an agreement with World Pro Racing, which will aim to provide three main activities. Primarily education, which can be considered as micro-learning. That is learning at the place of where activity is occurring, but in small bites. Secondly then, qualifications of value, formal in the sense that they will be accredited. And finally also international master classes. So all this activity is now building up progressively, and I would say also coherently within the concept of sport excellence.
In fact, speaking about ecosystem in sport, how would you define ecosystem for sport in Malta?
Exactly. So the core mission here is that of talent development. The whole scope of why I decided to formulate an ecosystem is precisely to ensure that the necessary ingredients for developing talent exist. And in order to do so, I am categorizing the activity into four. Primarily, because I am also a firm believer on education, is the educational element. Education in the sense that it will be programs of value, where youths, but not only youths, the football industry in general, or sport industry in general, can directly benefit. In fact, an education hub has also been formed, and I will be working very closely with the Central Mediterranean business schools in the coming week. Apart from education, the second category is that of training. Training in the sense that it will be short courses, intensive, which would be of value in the sense that they will focus on, for example, key skills such as developing the right mindset, such as developing the skills and the attitudes required for teamwork, for discipline. And so education and training are the main two categories of the ecosystem. At the same time, the third category will then focus on events. Again, events which are of value, which would be quite innovative in the sense that they will include also educational and cultural issues within the activity. And finally, I'm also forming a research team. I am very glad to collaborate with some key researchers in the field of sports, in particular also with a group of data scientists called Globes Lab, and we will be soon launching activity into integrating artificial intelligence, also focusing on improving the sports level in Malta.
In fact, how are you creating quality education and training provision?
Yes, over the last 20 years, I was very lucky to be in positions where I could learn also from my colleagues and contribute. So I have created a number of projects along the years, and they were all driven with one key ingredient, which is quality excellence. And in forming such activity and in forming such projects, I aim to provide really three services in particular. The first service which I provide is that of consulting services on elements of education and training, whether this being the setting up, whether this being quality, whether this being curriculum development or EU funding. So, it's like a one-stop shop in providing providers, existing providers, but not only providers, even industry players operating in and from Malta, towards a quality service. And I am in a lucky position that I will soon be strengthening this activity into a form of an alliance, but that is a future project coming up. At the same time, I am also driven with a key concept in which I believe in, which is work-based learning. I am a strong believer in work-based learning. I believe that in Malta, work-based learning will provide the opportunity for youth, but not only for youth, also for people like me and people within the working field to progress and develop. And I see industry in the very near future leading within this field. And so I believe in the value of quality, not because it is a cliche or it is a tagline, but it is a way of working. It is a way of life, really.
And what other events are being planned at the moment?
Okay, so the Center for Sport Excellence, I would say, has now reached a critical mass that will allow it to move into action in the next months ahead. In fact, I am planning 7 key activities till the end of the year. Very shortly, I will also announce an international webinar together with Leeds United College and Head in Sport in collaboration with the University of Salford to provide students and interested members with the key elements of such innovative projects. Then I will be launching a series of micro-learning within the world of esports. I will also be focusing then on other elements such as a master's in business administration, which will be work-based, and here I will be working in close collaboration with the Central Mediterranean Business School and other events that I will be announcing very shortly.
And what are you planning for the near future in the field of sport and education?
Yes, I am a firm believer that if we all work together around a key objective and therefore have the opportunity to co-create and come together around this objective, it is clear to me that things can happen and they can happen in the right direction. In particular, I see that the ecosystem can evolve and will evolve further into other sport. Apart from that, I can also see that work-based learning will be the predominant mode of education and training also within the field of sport. Nevertheless, key ingredients are required in order to develop an ecosystem coherently. And I would say here that trust, value in relationships, and a drive in order to ensure that we raise the level of the game and therefore develop talent that is required within the field of sport, particularly through education and training initiatives.